Hey guys, welcome back to more IPL5 action on Chaotic TV. This is still Winners Round 1, but we're bringing you a PvP, the first one of our series so far. In the top left on Ohana in Game 1, we have the Evil Geniuses player under the ID Evoli. It is Huck. His opponent, the bottom right, the Red Protoss, playing for now Quantic. It was its Gosu back then, 2 months ago when IPL5 actually happened. He is HwangSin. And now we have some time to kill, at least a little bit. PvPs tend to go fast a lot of the times, much like ZVZs in some cases, but since we're in the early round of the tournament, it's a lot of times that players will take much safer builds, do their less custom builds, and see if anybody's going to do something crazy that just basically gives them the win. But since we're still killing time, an interesting trivia note I read was that Sin in Korean stands for God, and we're going to have to watch this production tab just to see where they differ and see who's going to do what. If it comes down to they have parallel builds and they just do the exact same armies that come against each other, it's going to come down to micro and positioning, which is really interesting to watch, but it just does actually mean kind of a quick game and a really slow opening. So it becomes the one attack game where it's a one and done, and essentially the game is over right after that first attack. And they're still super parallel. You can see even the timings are exactly the same. It's going for the second pylons, going for the 26 supply pylon right at the exact same time. These players have mapped out these builds so well. I mean, as a Protoss, you essentially have the one build if you're going one base without a Forge Fast expand or a Gateway expand, or Gateway pressure into an expand. But essentially, you can just see that the supply is a little bit in Huck's favor because he's brought out this Zealot first, and you can see that HwangSin has gone for the Zealot as well. But we're still on just Cybernetics cores. Huck, of course, everybody knows him. He is the EG player who's now actually in Korea playing for EG along with Stefano and a couple of other EG, Jaedong, and JYP, all in GSL and stuff like that. They're trying to take the EG name global, and I mean it's already global, but they're trying to prove themselves in Korea in the toughest tournament that there is. And if he can micro this right, he did. He gets the probe. If you can do that really quick stutter step micro with his Zealot, you can get the 2 shots off on the probe before it gets past you. And because the Zealot's range is just a little bit past melee. Now, HwangSin is kind of a little bit unknown. He is Quantic Gaming now, so they'll be big in the coming tournaments, I'm very sure of. And we actually have a defensive sentry coming out of Huck. Just a little bit of differentiation, I should say, and a Stalker coming out. So we have Stalker and Zealot on the map for both players, and Huck is going to be the one who goes for a sentry while HwangSin goes for another Stalker. So he's going for that direct attack, while it looks like if Huck can get up into the main base with his sentry and then wall off that main ramp, then he'll be able to do the damage all he wants without being harassed by the reinforcements from the ramp. But he did lose his Zealot, so he's going to have to bring in something else to do so. He's actually going for an expansion behind this. It's kind of ballsy, going for a 1 gate expand. Of course, he's got 2 gases, so it delayed it quite a bit. And then he goes for a robotics facility and another gateway. And these 2 sentries here are just simply for walling off while he brings in reinforcements. His warp gate research for both players is about to be done. And it looks like HwangSin might go for his own expansion, or he might just do 3-gate robo, which is very powerful if you decide to use a different composition. The robotics facility in PvP, if you can get a single immortal out, does like 3 times the damage of a single Stalker shot against another Stalker. So they're so powerful in these attacks, and there's again a 3-gate robo out about these players. They took a slightly different pathway to get to where they are, but we are going to see something happen. Now, a little bit of supply block on HwangSin's side. He just got it resolved. He put another pylon down early enough that he was only supply blocked for about 5 in-game seconds. But he is a little bit down on supply right now. We can see that the unit-wise, he is down in Harvesters because he doesn't have the extra Nexus. And the Nexus, by the way, is providing the extra supply that Huck needs and the harvester count is catching up a little bit in HwangSin's favor, but he did go for an observer before an immortal, unlike Huck, who went immortal first and then has not put out an observer. He's probably going to lose his stalker to those 7 stalkers, but he looks pretty safe at home with this many sentries. It's a bit different going for that direct damage as HwangSin is. He does not have an immortal though to continue this direct damage. He might be going for just blink stalkers, and it looks like his blink just finished, so he's going to bring in that observer right here and blink right into the main base. You can see his little click that was right on the edge there. His observer is right there, and he didn't want it to be spotted by the Zealot at the Zelnaga tower. It's going to pass just outside of that circle, which came in right here, and his stalkers have moved that Zealot away. So now it's going to be up to Huck to hold off this. He's already put down 2 force fields. That's actually not the greatest thing in the world. If he puts this pylon close enough, he can warp in up on the high ground here, which is probably what he's going to do while he pressures the front. He's going to blink in, try to attack. While the Immortals were up on the high ground, he's going to do as much damage as he can, and then he's going to blink right back out. There he goes. He lost 2 stalkers, and he severely damaged another one, but he's bringing in his pylon for more reinforcements. And HwangSin is down in the supply right now. The 3 Immortals are going to do so much damage, at least delaying HwangSin while he moves up here, whilst the other Immortals get to the top of the ramp, and he can continue to blink around, but it's going to be up to Huck to hold this off, and it looks like he's got enough Immortals. He's losing them very quickly, but his supply is still higher than Gosu. We'll look at the army size, and HwangSin does have the higher army size, but the warping capabilities and the extra, very lucky timing of that remaining Immortal that's getting, another one's getting chrono boosted right behind it. You see that the army supply has evened up, and is now actually in Huck's favor with all of these Zealots. Re-blink in, he's going to try to snipe off one of these production facilities. If he can do that, he's going to do some serious damage to the production of Huck without needing to be said. I just was very redundant and obvious, Captain Major Obvious over here. But a lot of people don't notice that a single gateway is a lot of units if you can take them out, and you see how heavily damaged half of these units are. So if Huck can get lucky and do a couple of decent shots with target fire, then he's going to be able to take out most of the units of wow, we have a forward pylon for Huck over here. If he can do a decent Zealot warp in, he did do his decent Zealot warp in, and he got in to the main. Let's see how many he killed. While the micro is continuing to go over here, Huck has killed 12 workers. That is oh so critical to HwangSin's production himself. Since he wasn't able to get that gateway, it wouldn't really matter since he's lost so many workers. He continues probably to kill off these workers, and there it is. HwangSin can't recover from this big a deficit, and he taps out in Game 1, hoping for better luck in Game 2, which we're going to bring you on Chaotic TV in just a second. Thank you guys very much for watching. Cheers.